Here is, so what? This is the 5th fret right here. We're going to use the Dorian mode, and it kind of looks like the C major scale if you played pattern 6. The C major scale would be starting under your pinky, and it would be the end of the first long pattern, and it would go long, long, 3 wides in a row, short. If we aim it on D, then we're playing the C major scale, but starting and ending on D, or focused around D, and it's going to sound like the D Dorian mode. So if we start on the Dorian mode, so you might notice I'm jumping around a lot, and here I'm playing a C with my index finger on the 5th fret, and then I'm sliding from 7 to 9, and then I'm going to use my pinky to play a C on the 4th string. So I'm playing C in 2 different spots, but it allows me to do the slide that the bass player does. And then E minor 11 is straight across the 7th fret, which is where I am now, barring straight across 7th fret with your index finger and just your 2nd finger on the 2nd string. So you're going to get this, all those notes are intervals of fourths. E to A is a 4th, A to D is a 4th, D to G is a 4th, and on top, G to B is a 3rd. So this is what they call a quartal, Q-U-A-R-T-A-L, because it's made of fourths. So that's E minor 11 to D minor 11, and those are kind of famous chords from this song. So the ending is slightly different on each one, and this last one he goes. So that's a slide up to the E, 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 D. So there is the tab that you have your very own copy of. That goes 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9, slide, 10, and then 7's got a dot above it because he plays it kind of short. And then we've got E minor 11, D minor 11, and that's the basic thing. The second part of the song, he moves everything up a fret. So now we're playing E flat Dorian, and the chords are F minor, E flat minor. He sort of makes a mistake there in the recording, because most of the time on the last phrase, plays this, but on the bridge he actually doesn't play that, so I think it's kind of a mistake, but it's probably the second take and they just kept it or something. So then when you're soloing, you're going to have a lot of D Dorian mode, and then you're going to be able to switch to the E flat Dorian mode. So this is a great way to practice your ability to play one chord for a long time and be creative. So how do you do that? Well, you might have to add some hammer-ons or slides or bends, right? What if you could only play a solo with 2 notes? You would have to be very creative and play different dynamics. That was a solo with 1 note, right? But then you could maybe slide. You can put vibrato on. You can reverse slide. Grace note slide. Bend. Reverse bend. Try hopefully in tune, unlike me. So here is me soloing. How many notes should I use? How many notes do I get to use, I guess I should say. 3 notes, okay. Soloing using 3 notes on a D minor chord. Up. Relatively, they're the same 3 notes. it's a little boring now, but I played a whole chorus just using 3 notes. So that's something you could experiment with. And then when you go to having 6 notes, now you feel like you got
a whole wide spectrum there.
Hopefully you heard the key change there. Oops, kind of wrong. There's nothing to say you can't use the minor pentatonic scales like I just did there, but mix together Dorian, D Dorian, E flat Dorian.
Or if I had that one note in the pentatonic.
In D minor pentatonic?
D minor.
Yeah, and then you're adding the minor 6th.
Of course, that's the major 6th, but it does make a minor 6 chord. That's the major 6 you're adding.
This is the E flat minor part. Oops, end of the track. So hopefully you can experiment with some of that D minor, D Dorian minor scale, and figure out some different fingerings to play. It's related to C major, and get that lick together. It's a jam session song because it's pretty easy to play. The one danger is it goes 8 measures of D minor. You'll see at the bottom of page 399, the solo page. 16 measures of D minor, 8 measures of E flat minor, and then back to D minor for 8 measures. So you can see when you repeat, there's 8 measures at the end of D minor and 16 measures at the beginning. So if you're not careful, you don't play 24 measures total. You forget and you space out for a moment and you end up only playing 16. So you have to do something at the beginning of the song to like bonk yourself on the head, slap yourself in the face. Maybe just do something like as you're playing chords, and you're playing chords, hit a big chord to remind yourself, there I am at the beginning. And hopefully the drummer you're playing with knows enough to go, pow, and hits a big beat 1. So everybody knows, oh yeah, that's actually the beginning of the song. We're not halfway through the beginning of the song. So it's a danger that happens all the time on this song. People space out. So you might even want to make eye contact. It's the same look when you're going to pass the ball to somebody. There's a difference between looking at somebody, right? I'm just looking at you, and then there's this. I'm looking at you because something is about to happen, right? So as you're getting to the end of that 16th measure, if you look around and the bass player is just kind of looking at you, not I'm going to pass the ball looking at you, but just like he may not be aware, or maybe you're wrong. It's hard to say, right? So look around and make sure that everybody's giving you the I'm going to pass you the ball look. Yes, that means we're actually going to that second E flat minor, that different part. And if everybody gives you the same high five, okay, cool, we're good to go. But if you look at somebody and they're like, oh wait, I almost forgot. Yeah, now's the time. So it's a good eye contact is a very subtle thing that hopefully you can communicate with your band members, because you can't go, hey, we're going to the other part now. Right? That doesn't seem too cool on stage. So there's the video of the song "So What" by Miles Davis from the album, the best-selling jazz album of all time, called "Kind of Blue." It still sells something like 10,000 copies every week to this day. Every week, something like that. A lot of copies.